What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And our team, since 2020, has reached out directly and indirectly over 300,000 fathers around the world. And that is amazing, because I believe that the better fathers are, better families are, better the world. I also co-host and co-produce. I also am a featured contributor of the Fly Nubian Queen YouTube channel. And that is powered by Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. And the subtitle for that channel is Where Black Women Have a Voice. And that YouTube channel has over 581,000 subscribers. Yes, 581,000 subscribers. And finally, something new to the docket, I guess, is just over the last 2 weeks, I'm now a contributor to the Indie Soup Media content channel. And that is powered by a good friend of the Morning Vibe, Dr. Vibe, and many others, and especially Dr. Vibe, Dr. Tachi. It's an independent content creators network based out of the US that has over 30 plus contributors. I also sit on the advisory board, and that channel has a reach of over 1 million people. So we're not staying still. So let's get some homework out of the way today. First things first, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and also hit the notification button. And I could say something about YouTube. There's something new on YouTube with Dr. Vibe, but I'm not going to say it. Maybe I'll save it to another show or so, but something new on YouTube that's happening with the Dr. Vibe Show. Also, if you want to advertise your business, product, or service on our platform, excuse me. All right, need some more water, by the way. Please email me, dr.vibe@the.vibe.com. Also, join the Morning Vibe Discord group where we continue the conversation in between Epic Conversations that we do Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. And just a program alert, she was supposed to be here this past Monday, but there was a little hiccup and glitch there. But Carol Nicole, certified holistic nutritionist of the Energy Shack Juice Bar, is going to be talking about busting belly fat. Yes, busting belly fat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's coming up. And also, if you're watching this live on April 12th, tomorrow night, April 13th, we're going to be having, as usual, primetime Saturday with Isha and Lala. And Lala's not going to be able to make it because she's actually doing a musical tour throughout Europe and Africa. Yes, she has a beautiful voice, her and her husband Will, and you should follow her at Living the Lala. They're sharing their journeys through Europe and Africa. But we're going to have Dr. Tachi sitting in for Lala tomorrow night. So you know what I'm saying? So you think that Dr. Tachi and myself are aligned? Yes, we is. Yes, we are. So just do a little roundup. So we're broadcasting live April 12th, 2024. Yesterday, O.J. Simpson passed away. One of the most, probably for some people, one of the most interesting, some would say controversial African Americans of the last 50 years, became famous, being a running back of the USC, University of Southern California, then went to the Buffalo Bills and did a lot of great things athletically for them. I think he was, for a long period of time, he had the most rushing yards in an NFL season. That was him. Left that, and because of his good looks, his smile, and his, suave, starred in a few movies, starred in Roots. And then for our people who are old enough, his fame really started to even go higher when he was doing commercials for Hertz Rent-A-Car, running through airports, dashing. But I think his biggest claim to fame was when he went to trial for allegedly killing his girlfriend, Nicole Simpson, and her boyfriend, I think at the time, Ronald Goldman, in a big trial. I don't know how many people, whether you're live or replay, were you around to watch the famous Bronco scene when he was driving on the Bronco trying to escape? Please, our friend who's with us today, she nods her head. Yeah, yeah, the famous Bronco scene. I wonder, could you imagine? And social media wasn't really that big then, and I don't even think many cell phones weren't as massive as they were today. Could you imagine if that scene happened today? How many people would be watching that? Think about it. Here's a black gentleman driving to escape police. This was on national TV. And I think today it would still be on national TV. And you know, a lot of people became famous on top of that trial, especially Johnny Cochran, basically saying, paraphrasing, if the glove don't fit, you can't acquit. And you know, whether you're watching live and replay, where were you when that acquittal came with O.J. Simpson? For myself, and I think I haven't shared this for a few years, I won't say the company, but I was working for people who know me, they'll know what this company is or who this company is. I was working at a fairly prominent athletic apparel and footwear company at the time. And we were in the a bunch of us were in the workout room. Now, I was the only person who looked like me in the workout room. And in fact, at that company at that time, there was only one other person who looked like me in the company, Black woman or African woman. And when the verdict came down, and actually, I know, I actually remember this lady's name. I'm not going to say her name, but non-melanated lady, she was upset. She was just, oh, he is guilty, da 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 da. And I'm going, what should I say? I'm going, what should I say? You know, and I just said, hey, jury system. A lot of people who were non-melanated say he got away with murder. Many black people say, well, you know what? Enough people who were not black who've gotten away with murder. So, hey, this is the jury system, it's not just one-sided, it should be all-sided. Fairness. So, O.J. Simpson, very, very, oh, someone has a comment here coming up. Oh, good morning, Fitness IQ Cam, otherwise known as KSEYL, RWFQ, or FQRW, FV. Good morning, Fitness IQ Cam. Do you have anything you want to say about the O.J. Simpson trial? Were you alive when that went down? That's even a better question. Were you alive when that went down? But yeah, I remember. Yes. Or you say KOK? No, FV Fitness IQ Cam, not KOK. But yeah, were you around? And just speaking of that, Ryan hopefully will be with us today on Fridays. He's walking, as you say, his kiddos to school. So hopefully he'll be with us at the bottom of the hour. If you want to get a hold of Ryan, there's his contact information there. Email, work with me at Ryan Oneil Knight, Instagram at Ryan.Knight99, LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight, and also website, RyanOneilKnight.com. I got some more comments coming in. Who else we got here? Our friend here says, I was in high school at grade 9. In grade 9. So when our friend Ms. Shevonne comes on today, we're going to talk a few minutes about that, get that perspective. Fitness, because I was really young though. Okay. All right. Well, whether you were young or not, do you remember? And Flick says, I remember that day specific. Okay, we're gonna go in a little bit when Flick comes on, because I'd love to get her perspective on this. It'd be really, really cool. I myself today, after the show today, I'm actually running to downtown Toronto, which I don't go to that much, who people who know me, especially on a weekday, but I've been asked to host 2 panel conversations at a conference for Black Wealth for BIPOC students today. So I've been asked, so I'm going to be downtown most of the day, and I'm going to do one of those rare things for Dr. I'm actually going to do some Instagram live of me at the event a little bit. So JJ Mars from Colorado, good morning. Long time no see. Hope all is well. You know, I always ask, how is weather in Colorado this morning? We got here in Toronto, we've had lots of rain yesterday. I heard some rain against my window this morning, windy. So we're getting sun, then darkness for a few days. Sun for a few days, darkness for a few days. It's called Toronto weather. Okay. Fitness, like, of course you'd be doing that. So much power. No, people may be desperate. They can't find anybody else. Maybe that's it. I don't know. So that's really cool. And it's funny for that event. I got the information of what to basically think about leading conversation with today on Wednesday. And I looked a bit of it last night. Then I got up nice and early this morning, just focused. So we'll see. With one of the panel, like I'm doing a one-on-one conversation for about 15 minutes. And then the next conversation is a full hour panel discussion. I've met one of the panelists once and was very brief. The other two panelists, not introduced. So I'm speaking that before that conversation, I get a chance to just be with them for a few minutes. I've got some suggested questions for them. We'll see if that rolls or not. So that's okay. JJ Mars from Colorado says, weather is okay, warm outside. Can you push that up here? We'd really appreciate it. And actually, our new friend that's coming on today, I wonder if she's ever done anything in Colorado. Wonder if she'd like to do some stuff in Colorado, business-wise. Yeah, she's going, new territory. Go for that new stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to break for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to bring up our new friend. Well, I've known her for a bit, but it's going to be a new friend, and you know something? You need to meet her. She is a groundbreaker in her industry. Now, so if that doesn't make you want to stay, I don't know, you need to wake up. But she's going to come on. She's going to lay it down. Let me just see. Got another comment here. Oh, Tuesday and Wednesday was lovely, but bring back the weather. Yes, Tuesday and Wednesday was good here. All right. So let's get to a conversation coming up. I'm not going to tell you who it is, unless you would know if you follow me on YouTube or on especially on YouTube. That's a place to follow me, by the way. But we'll be back in 2 minutes. Here we go.
And that's what I feel like. You feel like you're the Harriet Tubman of the mind.
I am.
I feel like I'm one of the Harriet Tubmans of intelligent Black people. Like, I want to liberate y'all from like being left behind and ignored and oblivion. No, really, the rappers get all the attention. Seriously, does anybody else feel this way? Like ignorant Black people, they'll be all up, getting all the headlines on the Shade Room.
Overly sexualized Black folks.
Like the twerkers and the just people that don't always represent the best of us. The diversity. Like people like Dr. Vibe. Like everybody should know about people like Dr. Vibe. Dr.
Really
Vibe he's trying to do good work for Black people. Dr. Vibe from Toronto. Good to see you, my brother. Dr. Vibe. Everybody follow Dr. Vibe. He has a great show. He's very good at what he does, and I have a lot of respect for him. The men who are also doing the same thing. I see Dr. Vibe in here. He's a great brother. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. He's a smart brother in Canada, and we need to follow smart people. So follow Dr. Vibe if you see him in the chat. And Dr. Vibe, say your name in the chat so people can see you. I want you to click on his name, and I want you to go follow him, please, because I want these men and women that are doing the right things to get the support they deserve. Hey, Dr. Vibe, how you doing, brother? Again, like I always do, I got to say everybody should go follow Dr. Vibe. He's got a great show. Dr. Vibe, I know Dr. Vibe's got a kingdom because I see your channel. I see you pouring into that every day. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. Look him up, Dr. Vibe, V-I-B-E. He's a great friend of me and my wife, and I love this guy. Okay, so let me hop into this. What's up, Dr. Vibe? How you doing? Everybody, if you see Dr. Vibe in the chat, everybody go follow the Dr. Vibe show. Dr. Vibe is a real smart brother and a good human being. I like the guy a lot, and he's very intelligent. And I think everyone should pay attention to what he's got going on. We got to shine the spotlight on the intelligent Black people out here that are really doing the good work. Don't just pay attention to the rappers and the celebrities. A lot of these people are losers. Your true winners are your people in your community that are really having your back. Helping us to have stronger families and a stronger community. So Dr. Vibe is in that category. So you might see the Dr. Vibe show in this chat. If you see him, please go follow him. Okay. All right. So anyway.
As always, big shout out to Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. They allow me to broadcast some stuff on one of their platforms, as I said, Fly Nubian Queen, dedicated to the place where the black woman has a voice. And that's based in the US, by the way. And they have, as I said, 581,000 subscribers just on that channel. And they do a lot of great conversations, and so go check them out. So I always like to bring new friends to the platform, to the family. So here's another new friend that we're going to be bringing up today. Let me just make sure I bring it up properly. Here we go. People, fireworks, people, drones. People like fireworks? Tell me if you like the chat. What about drones? And drones is like a barrier. I see them on TV, but anything further than that, I don't get it. So we're gonna get some clarity today from the powering force behind Flick Fireworks. Now, as you say, the curate unique interactive customer experiences through custom drone light shows and firework displays. As I said, I'm telling you, you see what they got? They got a lot of stuff going on here. Now, what's even better? She's won so many awards. Like, I need to be like her. I need to see if I can fill up my room like she does, because every time I'm turning around lately on her posts, award this, award that, award this. Man, I feel so lonely. She's left me behind. But you know what? Most importantly, she's a good human being. That's and a good mother too. So those are key foundations. So before she starts giving me like visual head, stop it on the head. let's bring up the driving force behind Flick Fireworks, Ms. Shevonne Chin. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Vibe. Thank you so much for having me. I am fantastic today. I'm in great company. I'm glad to be here.
I mean, you're a great coach because you're with yourself, right?
No, because I'm talking to you. You have this energy that's just contagious.
Well, I received that. Thank you. How has your day been so far? It's not a fireworks day today in Toronto.
Today has been, rain. I find it funny enough that when it rains or in the biggest of snowstorms is when I have my busier days. So I'm anticipating an extremely busy weekend. We're just coming off of Ramadan. So we've got a lot of people celebrating Eid al-Tafar. So, we're here for all cultures and for every reason to celebrate. That's the beauty of fireworks.
Wonderful. Well, I know a little bit about you, but can you give some of your background to our family, some bit about yourself before the world of fireworks?
Oh, before the world of fireworks. Oh, okay. Um, I've worked with various companies. I was a co-founder for a restaurant named Topaz Kitchen, which is on the west side of Toronto, on Shepherd between Keele and the Allen. Successful business, Jamaican cuisine, seafood, cooked fresh to order. Um, but it was a partnership with my cousin, and we started that in 2017, and it did very well. Continues to be successful. But throughout that, fireworks has been predominant. So I would always do fireworks for the holidays, per se, and then I started to introduce the fireworks to even my customers that were at Topaz, and that was really my first customer base, where I had the stock of fireworks, and then I was saying, okay, well, who do I sell them to? And I had the base of the customers there. So, I just put the word out, hey, I've got these in stock. If you guys need fireworks for the holidays, give me a call. And that's where the fireworks lady name came in. They'd say, hey, there's a fireworks lady. She's always got fireworks. So that started, and then it grew and expanded from there.
I know about Topaz Restaurant. Actually, my cousin had a birthday celebration there earlier this week. Was it on Monday night?
Oh, really? Wow. Did you go?
No,
Did you get
unfortunately,
food?
unfortunately, I couldn't go because I had a previously scheduled event, but I heard rave
Okay.
reviews about the food.
Yes.
Okay. So what was your first experience with fireworks? Because you just didn't jump in. How did this fireworks thing start?
As a kid, they used to do Festival of Lights downtown. That was back in the 90s. So that was put on by the city, and it was right on the waterfront. They used to do it in connection with the Ontario Place and the CNE. So it was something that I could look forward to every year. And all the different countries would come and they would compete. And it was a big festival where, you know, every country was trying to outdo the other. So that's where my love for it really started, right here in my city.
But how did that transition to becoming a business?
Okay, so with the passion of loving to see the fireworks, they removed the yearly festival. So I started doing fireworks myself. So I would do them in the backyard with the kids, holidays, and that was our tradition. And we'd put together. My father has 10 kids, so I've got the whole bunch of brothers and sisters. So we get all these siblings together, you know, put a whole big show together, and it was a great thing for the kids. And as it expanded and as it evolved, and I became more familiar with the fireworks, use them, and I started to be a little bit more strategic with the planning of the show and how we were going to lay out the fireworks just to give it the maximum show. And like I said, I was able to get fireworks at a good price, um, and it was just a matter of spreading the word from there. So it's really started out of my trunk. I'd fill up the trunk, and I'd go out, and at the end of the day, it was all gone. And then the next day, the next holiday, I did that again. So that was just for the first one was May, the Victoria Day weekend, and then the next one was the July weekend. And then I started to get calls throughout the year outside of the holidays. And I was saying to myself, okay, so there's a market outside of the holidays because there's still birthdays, there's anniversaries, there's weddings, there's funerals, there's divorce parties, there's car shows. There were so many reasons why my customers were coming to me for fireworks that I decided to expand beyond just the holidays to be open 24 hours. Because I realized that not only when the customers were coming to buy the fireworks, that the big box stores that were selling the fireworks were closed at a certain time. And by 9 o'clock, when the other stores are closed, typically most people are doing fireworks at night and they don't think about fireworks until it's time to do it. So I found a huge market of people that needed fireworks after all the other stores were closed. So that gave me the idea to be 24 hours. Make it convenient for the customers to get it when they need it, when they want it, and they could use it however they need to.
That is wonderful. I got more. We're going in now. I'm going deep in this. This is fantastic. So let me, and so many things I want to build on that. I hope I remember a number of them, but can you go back and recollect the first event you did that you got paid?
Okay. So taking it even further back, I was looking to say, okay, now that I have all these fireworks, I have a whole stock. How do I get in touch with people? How do they find me? And I said, well, duh, Google. That's how people find people, right? So I was laying in my bed one morning, and I had the Google thought. And I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I started, just Google, flick fireworks, information, pickup point. And within 10 minutes, I had my first call. The first call was $600.
Hold on. Within how many minutes?
Within 10 minutes.
You lie.
Yeah. I swear on my life. Within 10 minutes, I had my first call, and the first call was $600 worth of fireworks that they wanted.
What? Who
And
was?
then 2 hours later.
Okay, are you at liberty to name that person or who that company was?
It was just a random person. His name was Sean. Um, I called him Sean the mechanic because he told me he was a mechanic and if I ever need anything done with my car, blah, blah, blah. But he was going to an occasion that night. He had a baby shower that he was going to and he needed fireworks. And I was the closest person in the area. So when they looked it up, he came right out. We met him and that was great. And 2 hours later, I had another call, $400. So I was like, okay. So I made $1,000 within hours of being on Google, this is definitely a viable business.
Wow. Wow. Okay. How in the early
And
days.
sorry, now to answer your question. Sorry, to answer your question now
Yeah.
was you said, how did I start? When did I make my first show? So people started to call to purchase the fireworks. And then I had a call for somebody to say, okay, well, I'm not so comfortable doing the fireworks myself. Can you come out and do it for me? There's the answer to your question.
And you know what? And I love this. People don't realize you can tell people how to do something, but they don't know how to do it. You've given the information.
Yeah.
You're the person
Yes.
to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
So they came back and she was like, okay, yeah, I could buy them myself, but I'd much rather you come out and do the show for me. And I was like, okay. I looked to see what kind of certifications that I needed, what kind of qualifications I needed in order to do a professional fireworks display. I went and I got my certifications, and that's how it expanded into doing the shows.
Wow. Wow. In the early days, actually, I want to stop for a second. Have you always been an entrepreneur because you worked in the restaurant industry? Was it always a family thing to be an entrepreneur?
I can say I got my first job at 6. I was the do girl. They would send me to the store and I would get the stuff from the store and I'd get to keep the change. So I was always willing. I was the quickest. I was the smartest because I can count the change and make sure that everybody got their right change back. So that was very important at the time. 6-year-old kid that could count, was quick, and she was efficient.
Okay. So how did the name Flick Fireworks come out?
I was I went through a few different name changes. Initially, when I started it, it was just named after the kids, their initials, but it wasn't catchy. And I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and we were just running through some things. And he's such a great inspiration to me. And he was just running through some things in my mind and just asking me questions. And he's like, I don't want the answer. I'm just asking, just like how you do. He's quite similar to you, Dr. Vibe, where you ask the questions for us to figure out the answers on our own. He's very similar to that. And in doing so, we were having the conversation and I was like, flicking and flicking and flick. Let's flick about it. And it kind of stuck, the lighter flicking and the flick. And so it was funny at the time and it resonated with me at the same time. And flick became flick.
In the early years of Flick Fireworks, how much having experience as an entrepreneur helped you in the early days? Because this is an industry brand new for you, but it's still entrepreneur
Absolutely.
based. How helpful was
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur for a few years help you in the early days?
Well, you have to have a certain kind of a personality that's willing to go out there and get things done. You have to be willing to network. You have to be willing to learn. Is really bigger than anything else. As long as you're willing to learn, the resources will fall into place. So I found that the more that I went through and the more that I seeked knowledge, that the right person, the right people, Dr. Vibe falls into my lap to provide me everything that I need. God has this way of when you ask and you work towards it and you're obedient, it all falls into place.
Cool. So we are speaking to, can I say Canada's first lady of fireworks, Shevonne Chin of Flick Fireworks? Am I allowed to say that?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. There you go on the Morning Vibe. Also, contact information, website is there, Instagram is there, email, phone number. And if you're watching on most of the platforms, either live on the replay, that contact information is in the comment section. So as I said, people say, I can't screenshot, got a screenshot. No, it's in your comment section. Make it as easy as possible for you. Shevonne, let me ask you, or let's have a conversation here. What was the first big event in your mind that Flick Fireworks did? And give us the story behind it.
Well, in working with fireworks, initially, even when you get your first certification, you've got to do a series of apprenticeship and building your hours in order to get certified. So I did the assistant certification, so fireworks display assistant. I'm now a fireworks display supervisor with endorsements. So you have to go out and you have to do at least a minimum of 3 shows where you're working under a crew, where you're learning your wiring, you're learning how to put your fireworks into the motors, you're building your racks. So you're learning all of the practical stuff to get your stuff done. My first big show, I would say, was Trenton Waterfront, where we did a 15-minute show out there. It was pretty huge. We had over 10,000 people in attendance, 15 minutes fireworks shows. That was the first big one that was really exciting for me.
And you bring up a very interesting another conversation piece. 15 minutes show. How much work, how many hours goes into putting on a 15-minute show? What's the process?
Well, there's the planning and the design. That's before you even get on the field. So you're going to plan out your show, what you envision it to look like. Then you're going to get your materials to design the show. And then you're going to practically put your show together physically. Then that's before you even get there. On the day of, you're going to build your racks, you're going to lay out your shows, you're going to do wiring. So I would say full day setup, again, depending upon how big your crew is. So for the Trenton water park, or waterfront, sorry, I should say, we had a crew of about 12 people. And it took us maybe 6 hours to set up. And then you have your show, and then it's about 2 hours to take down, clean up, and pack up everything. So it's a before design, there's a during setup, there's the actual show, and then there's your cleanup and put away, cleanup and disposal.
And so roughly how many hours in total were spent on that 15-minute event?
10 to 12 minimum.
I want the audience to hear that. 15 minutes, 10 hours of everything.
Of prep
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Yes. Well, you're talking about especially, and then there's 2 different kind of fireworks shows where you can hand fire it or it can be done electronically. So if you're doing it electronically, you've got to do all your wiring. If you're doing it hand fire, you got to make sure everything is set up so you can light and go.
Good stuff. Just want to catch up here. Some people saying hello. Frequency Event Promotion says, good day, Dr. Vibe. How is my Friday? My Friday is outstanding because I'm right beside the First Lady of Fireworks in Canada. Also, Opal Inspired says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Opal Inspired. Great to have you here. Follow her on YouTube. And also, Frequency Event Promotion says, hi, Shevonne Chin. Always a pleasure seeing you. All the best with this niche you have chosen for yourself. Continued success. Let's jump into that. How many African women have you met in this niche?
0.
How does that make
doing the fireworks itself?
Go ahead.
In doing the fireworks itself, I haven't seen any Black people, period, man or woman. I haven't come across them. And I've worked with several crews because typically what we do is most firework companies are smalls, ones that do the displays. So in order to put off a show like a Trenton Waterfront or a London airport, you've got to put together 2 or 3 crews together in order to build a full team. And in seeing all the other teams in total since I've started, I have never seen anybody else Black, period.
Has being Black been, in your opinion at all, a hindrance for your progression in the industry?
I don't take it as a hindrance. It can be taken as a hindrance. I use it as motivation. Um, I've had a lot of things said to me on the field. I've had a lot of actions happen on the field, and it just proved me to, or pushed me to be more certified, to be more qualified.
Well, first, I'm
When they
sorry.
come at you,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I
You're,
said when they come at you with these things, you could take it and internalize it, and it can completely deter your path, or you can take it to say, okay, I'm going to show you, and I'm one of those. Okay, you said that, I'm gonna show you, kind of a girl. So it always fueled my passion and just made me better. So I was thankful for all the things that they said last year to me, because this year I'm a pilot now.
okay.
Yeah.
So take us along the journey of the different certifications and barrier-breaking things that you have done along the way. And take your time. You don't have to rush through, but I want people to hear your journey of accomplishments and wins.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Frequency Events Motions. He's been around too. So I thank everybody for their support. I'm trying to do something different and really show people that it can be done.
No. Can I
Um,
interrupt? You are doing something different. You're not trying, you are. Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I've won some awards in the last little bit. I won the Canadian Choice Award. I've won the uh, Canadian Choice Award. I've won the Small Business Award. I've won the Women Empowerment Award. I've won the Achievement Award. So it's nice because I'm different, that it stands out a little bit more. But in terms of certifications, as I said, I went from the fireworks display assistant to a fireworks display supervisor with endorsements, and that's through the Natural Resources of Canada. You have to be certified in order to deal with the explosives and the different size shells that you're dealing with. And then I transitioned from there to the pilot. So I went from being just the fireworks display supervisor to be a drone pilot, and then I went for the advanced drone pilot. So I then became the first woman swarm drone pilot in Canada. They say to put the black on it, but beyond black, the first woman. So I take
Wow.
them both on. I appreciate it. Don't see anybody else doing exactly what I'm doing. There's other women in drones that do photography, that do real estate, that do training, but they don't necessarily work with the swarm drones in formation.
Congratulations on all the
Thank you.
wins.
Thank you.
You have received a number of awards over the last little bit. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good in terms of I put in the work. And I, even in the interview I did yesterday, I keep saying if you put in the work, success is inevitable. At least that's what my grandmother says. Um, One way or the next, it will find you. So if I continue to do the work and exceed their expectations, the validation will be required. So that's kind of been my little catchphrase: exceed their expectations, so validation is not required. Because when I walk onto the field, I've been asked, "Are you bringing lunch? What are you doing here?" They can't picture me. Oh yeah, they can't picture me as being certified or qualified. They just imagine that I'm just hanging around. I don't know. Last year when I was working with the drones, when I just started working with the drones, um, you're working with 300 drones, and I was out there counting 1, 2, 3, and somebody turned around and said, "Okay, Count Blackula," and you know, instantly, everything in me started to shake. But I understood that I had to work with these people, and at some point, this would be my motivation. So I took that from being now one of the counters to now I'm the pilot. So, for me, I didn't, it hurt me, it stung in the moment, but I said, the next time you see me, you want to put some respect on my name. So that was my way of handling it. So every time I faced something like that, I made sure that the next time that person saw me, there was something more about me. I increased the value.
Mm, mm. Well, first, I'm sorry you have to, but I'm immensely happy that it's a fuel for you.
Yes.
Nice. Where do you get your resiliency from?
I've got two grandmothers who are champions. And what I've seen them do, if I can accomplish half of what they've done in a world that we said was before social media, was before half of the technology we had, and they did it with such grace. So I've got people who have high expectations of me, and if I could live up to their standards, is really what it is. So I do it all to make my grandma happy. And if she's happy, then I've done my job.
Wonderful. Wonderful. there's so there's so many things that I want to have conversation with you about today. So I'll just pick things out of the air as they're going through the air. No problem. No problem. When did you know in your journey that this is aligned with who I am? Was there a moment or a few moments?
Recently,
Okay, go ahead.
recently, I in doing the piloting and doing just the training and the certification, I remember the first time I touched a drone, I said, I this is my destiny. Like I touched it and it was like electric, and I was saying, okay, I just touched my destiny right within my own hands. So it was something that I physically felt. For a long time, I don't feel like I was walking in my purpose. I was helping everybody else achieve their goals. And that was my fulfillment in just accomplishing goals. And once I moved away and poured it into something that I enjoyed, the passion grew. And I understood right away that this is my destiny.
Okay. Okay. With Flick Fireworks, how long has it been in existence? Because it seems that just you came out of nowhere. How long has Flick Fireworks been in existence for?
Flick Fireworks has been in business since 2021, but we're just now dominating the world.
Oh, dominating the world. Yes. Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. As you're going along in this journey, you look at me as a mentor, but are more people asking you for mentorship?
I am getting a lot of calls now saying, how did you do it? Like, what inspired you? And along those lines. And I'm here for everybody, because for me, it's a each one teach one. There's a lot of things that I didn't know. And just by having a conversation, I was able to learn something. And if me having a conversation with somebody else can enlighten them or help them along their path, I'm here for it. The more of us that are out there, the better the world is.
Great. Great. What? Oh, well, that's just a comment here. Someone has a comment here. Let me bring it up. Well, great question. What question? You said great question. What question did I ask was a great question. You gotta give me more than that. So, Shevonne, coming back to you here. How important is your team?
Immensely important. I didn't realize how much I needed a team until the bigger events and this stuff started happening. And the first thing that I realized, Doug Minter said to me, Shevonne, you need to get your systems in place and you need to get your teams in place. Something that he said to me that stood out was, if your business relies on you, it is broken.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to put systems in place, whereas, the business can survive with me and without me so that everything will work uniformly. So that was really important.
It's interesting. Dr. George Fraser, I don't know if you know that name. He said that if you don't have a system, if you don't have a system, you don't have a business.
There, see, it all works together. So these little quotations are little light bulbs in my head. So they're action words for me. That, okay, Shevonne, this is the next thing that you need to do.
I want to go back to the childhood. How many kids are there from your dad?
My father has 10 children, so I've got 10 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Hmm. But
That
I'm the
is
first girl, so that's all that's
okay.
important. I'm the first girl, the first girl. Nothing else matters. I'm the first niece, the first. So I walk into every room and say, yes, yes, I'm the first is here. So yeah, that title is very important to me. The first grandbaby, the first niece, the first girl.
All right. So, and first in your industry, right?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
I
There
like
you
that
go.
first title.
Frequency Event Promotion says, salute, Shevonne. Also, Opal
Thank you.
Inspire has a question. Shevonne, your fireworks are amazing. Got to make sure you spell her name right. We'll let you buy this time. But she says it must take a lot of creativity. How do you balance the creative side with the business side?
Um, New experiences. So I constantly engage myself in different environments, new experiences, just so that I can see the leg of the land, see what's resonating, see what's relevant to the people. I just recently came back from Jamaica. They had a big show out there. So I went to check out their staging. They had some drone footage, they had some fireworks. So I'm constantly traveling to see what else is happening just so that it keeps my creativity on a level. And then it's also about incorporating the client's vision also. So it's a blend of what we can do and what the client wants.
I'm going to get on that. I love what you're saying. I'm just going to build on that. Wayne Harris, great friend of the program. Systems, save yourself time, energy, and money.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you just said something and I totally forgot about it. I was so into Wayne's comment. But I missed it. Oh, maybe I'll remember it. Maybe I'll remember it. But with the team aspect. Oh, actually, how important is research for your business? The research you do.
Hmm. How much research do I do? Well,
Yes.
I have to do a lot. I have to know my client. I have to know their audience. I have to know their targets, what they're trying to achieve, really. So, in bringing all that data in, it really helps me to, again, we need to understand their customer persona, their target market, their target audience. And are they trying to attract new viewers to their website? Do they want people to purchase a new product? Are they trying to get people to attend an event? So, what kind of interaction are you trying to achieve is really what we focus on, and then we build upon that. For
It,
instance, the QR code in the sky will give you a different result than to have a logo or words in the sky, which is, again, different than to have fireworks. So it's really, do you want the drones to complement a fireworks show? Do you want the drones only? So there's different levels of creativity depending upon your budget and depending upon how extreme and extravagant you want to be.
I picked on that now. You said earlier, you came from the restaurant and catering industry where it's very much customer focused. And it seems that you've just
Yes,
continued that on with the industry that you're in right now. Am I correct in saying that?
absolutely. So the first question I ask when people call me is, what is your occasion? What is your audience? Those are my first two questions.
Frequency Event Promotion says, will your company be franchising soon? As I'm getting a sense that you are looking to expand, expand, and expand. Regardless, we're huge fans of your business and first and foremost, you.
Thank you. I'm looking to expand in terms of where my business reaches. So I'm looking to get into the Middle East. They love celebrations over there. So in terms of traveling, that's where I'd like to do in terms of expanding. Just where we can get to and what we can do in terms of taking over the sky.
Why don't you use that? Could be a new tagline for Flick Fireworks, taking over the sky.
Yeah. And then we say that we don't just stop at the sky, we go beyond the sky. The sky is not the limit. We go beyond the sky.
You need to watch the replay for these new taglines, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got them, Dr. Vibe. You know, I'm paying attention to what you say.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Also, another thing, and Wayne is a financial educator. So when he came on with a comment, made me think, how much is insurance part of your business?
Insurance is not too bad because in terms of display shows, the incident rate is relatively low because you have to be so certified and trained. Not to say that accidents can't happen, but the incident rates for accidents is relatively low. In terms of drones, I've seen some drone companies have issues. With God's grace, I haven't had one yet, but it can be an issue, especially in flying over water. I saw a video in Australia where 500 drones took a swim in the river. And 500 drones, a swim in the river is a very costly show. So insurance is required in terms of damage to your own property, damage to site, and damage to your drones in terms of getting your flight operations license for the day or your pre-flight in order to get your permits for the drones.
Got you. Good morning, Mark Lewis. Hope all is fine with you. Good stuff. So have you done any international shows yet?
Not yet. No.
If you had some countries you'd like to do some international shows, what would be some of those countries?
Wow, I'd like to get over there to Dubai. I'd like to do something in Africa. I still hope we're at the top of my list. I've got to do drones for Oprah. I keep putting it out there. So somebody call Oprah and tell Oprah, Shevonne needs to do drones for you.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah, those are the top.
Well, we can talk offline. I have a suggestion of how you can reach out to her.
Oh, there we go. I want to do drones for Oprah.
What would that look like?
What would it look like? Auntie Oprah, thank you for paving the way. She's been a voice in my head for the last maybe 25 years, good or bad. And, you know, I would just like to give her her flowers while I still can.
Okay. Oh, we can chat about that. I have a suggestion on how you could reach out to her.
I'm here for it.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Excellent.
between Africa, Dubai, and Oprah, that's where I would like to expand to.
Excellent. How do you balance Shevonne life, family life, and Flick Fireworks life?
Ooh. Well, Flick Fireworks has been 24 hours. So some days it's a real challenge. When you get that call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my promise is that if your order is ready within 5 minutes, you have to be on call and you have to be on point. So for me, my promise and my delivery is extremely important that the customers get their order when they want it so they can get it. In terms of family life, it's constantly a juggle, you know, but there's a balance. I make things happen because everything needs to get done, and that's just the way it works. Everything has to get done, so it gets done.
You mentioned at the top of our conversation, you just mentioned again, are there pluses and minuses having a 24-hour business?
Yes. The convenience to the customer is definitely the bonus and the plus. You'd get a customer call you at 7 o'clock. I'm on my way to a funeral. Thank you so much that you're open. You know, it was very important to them. The person who passed away loved fireworks, and they were trying every word to get them, and they couldn't find anywhere, and they were happy that I was open and available. That to me warmed my heart. Um, I had a divorce party. That was really actually cool. The man, he was just
Yeah,
so
no,
excited to be free.
you got to talk about this divorce, because I listened to a story earlier on this week. A big industry now is divorce rings. I'm hearing of divorce
Yeah,
rings becoming a big industry. So talk about this
divorce
story
rings,
behind the divorce
divorce
party.
parties. Yeah, so he was very excited to be getting a divorce. His divorce, he had gone through a horrible, I guess, marriage. His separation was complete, and he was getting his divorce, his final papers, like on the Friday. And he was like, "I'm having a big party, and we're having fireworks." And I was like, "Okay, what's your like? What are you having? Kids? There's going to be adults?" And he's like, "Adults, lots of adults and lots of drinking. I want the biggest booms you have." It was fun. So he came in and he got a whole bunch of bangers, and he had a great time.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, 2 years ago, a friend of mine passed, and she was such a general, is what we would have called her. And I did a 21 shot salute for her. So just like a 21 gun salute, we did 21 fireworks salute. It was during the day, so you wouldn't necessarily see the effect, but you'd get the sound effect. So she got 21 shots. So there's different ways to incorporate it into everything you're doing. My daughter got her G2 license and we did fireworks. So as simple as the other one, she's in grade 1. She got a good marks on her spelling test. We just did little sparklers for her. So, from the sparklers to the big booms, there's always a reason to celebrate you.
Love it.
So that's kind of what my slogan was. I'm here to celebrate you and all your accomplishments and what you've got going on in your life.
Okay. Fitness IQ Cam says, "LOL divorce party." Wayne
Yeah, it's
Harris
good.
says, Wayne Harris says, "Greetings, all, great show, little known industry." And when that's coming from Wayne, he knows a lot about industry. When he says it's little known, you've hit a niche. You've definitely got a niche
Thank
going
you.
on. So divorce part, I'm still thinking about that. Let me, because and what you're doing very much aligns with one of the things I say, that life is made of decisions and moments. And are you seeing more and more people celebrating moments? Whatever the moment is, you're seeing more and more people celebrating moments through what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. And it's really creating the memories, because if you think about it, fireworks are rarely done by themselves. It's usually done 2, 3, or more people. So they're celebrating something. So fireworks are the international language of celebration. So when you see them, somebody is celebrating something.
You see this? She's dropping more knowledge on the international language of celebration. You could probably have all
Yeah,
these just written down, just pick it up off the pad of your paper, right?
Well, I've been doing this for a while now. Like, remember you said the more you say, they'll just start rolling off your tongue. So again, thank you, Dr. Vibe. You know, these are your points that are now, you know, coming through on the interview.
Well, we do. By the way, we do conversations. We don't do interviews.
Well, even better.
There you
Even
go.
better.
There you go.
So yeah, you've given me a lot of tips that I've been able to internalize and, you know, take on, and it helps me now in doing these conversations.
I'm going to take this to another direction. You get the opportunity to see people in various stages.
Yes.
What, through your lens, is going on in many people's lives these days? Because you see different people all the time.
Yes.
What sort of lens are
people
you
are
getting?
looking-
Go ahead.
People are looking for joy. People are looking for ways to be happy. And fireworks are happiness in every flick.
Wow. Man, when are you going to be contracting your marketing services?
Yeah, you know, I'm working on that. As soon as after we hit a couple of millions, then we can talk about, you know, the catchphrases for everybody else. But it is what it is, right? And that's what we're here to do. We're here to bring joy and happiness with one flick.
You must be in a competitive industry. How competitive is it?
Well, there are the big boxes, you know, the name brand fireworks stores that people were going to before. But I find that a lot of people that were going to those other people who we're not going to talk about were not happy because they weren't getting the customer experience. So the people were buying the fireworks, but they weren't getting the type of show that they wanted. Like, you can buy fireworks, but for instance, if you're buying fireworks for kids, you want colors and you want splashes and you want different than if you were having a wedding. You'd want elegance and grace. So if you're not sure about the kind of fireworks that you're getting and you just go and buy them, typically you're going to be unhappy with what you get because it's not what you envisioned. So that's why I always say, who's your audience and what's the occasion? So that I can give them more what they're envisioning in their mind so that aligns more to what they're looking for. And that way they have the better experience because they're getting what they're envisioning as opposed to just buying fireworks.
So on based on what you just shared with us a little bit further, what separates Flick from your competitors?
The customer experience and the availability.
What percentage of calls do you get for your business between 12 midnight and 6 a.m. in the morning?
70% of my business is between 8 a.m. and 2 a.m.
You're kidding me.
No. The majority of the other stores are going to be closing between 8 and 9 p.m. And
Right.
that's where I fill in. So my big time is between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. And then the other one would be between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. Those
So
are your two peak times.
So people who are watching this live on the replay, or maybe listening to this on replay, because that's coming up soon, she knows her market.
Yes.
She knows her market. She knows when the heaviest times are. So she's making sure she's available when the demand is there.
Absolutely. And again, it's about availability, and customers like that they can come when they feel like it. For me, I've found that my biggest holiday is Diwali. It's bigger than New Year's Eve. It's bigger than Victoria Day. It's bigger than July 1st.
Shevonne, how did you get into that cultural marketplace? How did that happen?
It was just a matter of demand. Everybody else was closed for Diwali at by 9 o'clock. So me being in Scarborough, I had people coming from Barrie, I had people coming from Peterborough just because they wanted fireworks. So they were coming from everywhere. And during that week of Diwali, I'm nonstop. I used to compare to the drug dealers. I'd be like, I'm slinging my fireworks. I'm out here hustling my fireworks because when that hotline blings, you gotta go, right? And a lot of people would see me back and forth and in and out and be like, she must be selling drugs. Like, what is she doing? And like, that's the only thing that makes sense. Like, where are you going so often? Like, what are you doing? And it would be another in for me to say, well, I'm open 24 hours. Here's my business card. So then it'd be like, wait a minute, she's serious. When that hotline blings, you gotta go.
Wow. So for people who are watching worldwide, there's Toronto people that know they did, but where has the farthest point a person has come to pick up fireworks from you? How far away? Drive time approximately.
I had somebody come from Windsor.
That's like 5.5 hours.
They came from Windsor, and he was like, I saw your thing and I just had to come because he was doing something else somewhere in Toronto, but he wanted fireworks from here to bring back to Windsor. So I was thankful for them. I'm grateful for everybody who calls. And, I really try to give them more than what they expect. So whenever you come, you always get a free lighter. You get a personalized lighter that, you can take with you to light your fireworks. And I always do more than whatever you get, you always get more. More makes people happy.
How much now do you have repeat business and referral business?
A lot. A lot of my customers are repeat customers. I've never seen anybody who's come to me that's gone anywhere else. And then because it's such a personalized business, yeah, they come from the other people's and they come to me. I didn't like this and I didn't like this. And I say, okay, well, how can we fix this? And how can we make this a better experience for you?
Bam.
Especially when it comes on to the kids. I love the kids. We work on a budget. Our fireworks start at $4 and they work up. So you can come to me with any budget and say, I've got $30. What can you do for me? And I can put together a package for a family that will make them happy and at least give them something that they can feel good about.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's great. What do you do to relax?
I travel. Yeah, I just got back from Jamaica. I was out there for 10 days. So I get on a plane every so often and I shut myself down from the business. I leave the business to the business and I give myself a couple of days to just do nothing. And then I come back in and I'm re-energized and I'm ready to go again for 24 hours every day.
You know what? I should have asked this earlier, but I'm going to ask it now. What is a drone? Because some people may not know.
Okay, a drone in terms of aviation is a remote air piloted system. So it's a system that is piloted remotely without a pilot on board. Whereas an aircraft, you have to have an actual pilot on board. So anything that can be traveled remotely through the air without a pilot on board can be called a drone. So it's an RPAS.
So when did it start changing the industry that you're in?
This is very recently, and right now the regulations are so far behind what the drones are actually doing. I would say every quarter, they're reviewing the drone guidelines and specifications because you can buy drones that are for personal use that can take pictures and can do a whole bunch of stuff, but depending upon the weight of it. If it's less than 250 grams, it can be flied without being registered or certified. If it's 250 grams or above, It's got to be registered with Transport Canada. You've got to go through certification. You've got to have training. You have to have flight plans. So the privacy involved with drones and the invasion of privacy that can be done, the rules are really, they haven't reached to where we are yet, but they're trying to get there. So for instance, you can have a drone in a residential area or even beside a condo, and if you're flying up, you can be invading somebody's privacy. So they're really trying to do the regulations around that, and then the airspace. So some airspace is classified where even if you turn your drone on, it won't fly just because it's in the wrong airspace. So all of these different aspects of it are run through Transport Canada.
How much is your business impacted by what you just shared with us?
It's great in terms of not everybody can do what I do. And so it kind of sets apart the professionals from people who are doing it recreationally.
Okay. Okay. How has the industry changed since you first got into it? Or what have been the changes in the industry that you've seen since you got involved in the industry?
Well, it's changed immensely in terms of fireworks were so much more widely received. And then as the bans started to become into place, certain cities started to put bans in. They've then replaced it with fireworks. Some people are die-hard fireworks. They don't like the drones. Some people are afraid of fireworks. So we also have to be mindful of the people who have PTSD, the people with pets, some small kids, people with, again, audible sensory issues. Like some of those people are impacted by fireworks, so we are also aware of them. So drones are a great alternative. And then you have the people, as I say, who love fireworks and love to see the boom and the bang. So, we have a great show for them. So with the bans in place, you just have to learn to adjust and pivot. So you may not be able to do it in this city, but you can go across the street and you're in a different city.
Where do you see the industry going in the next few years?
I see drone use becoming more popular. I see people becoming more technological. What's the word I'm looking for?
Technological.
They're more. There we go. Technologically advanced, and they're learning more to use. Just like how we're learning more to use the AI software, they're learning to see that drones are not their enemy and can be used in many useful ways. I'm seeing package deliveries. I'm seeing even in the Gaza right now, they're delivering food and supplies and stuff with drones. So there's many different uses in terms of security, for keeping large fields or even buildings secure, construction sites secure, where you don't have to have a physical person on site. Drones are now replacing a lot of these mm, jobs that you can do remotely and do a lot more efficiently.
Okay. All right. Is AI have any impact on Flick Fireworks?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Yeah, just asking, is AI having any impact on Flick Fireworks?
Absolutely, it's making us better.
How?
Well, just in terms of organizing, in terms of planning, in terms of outreach, marketing, it just makes us more efficient. So you can
Okay.
put all your back end stuff in through the AIs and it'll spit it out. Or even if you're looking for ideas, you're looking for leads for in terms of designs for your fireworks displays or your drone displays. It's great with pulling if you're stuck, give you some creative nudge.
Excellent. Excellent. This is good. What is the near future looking like for Flick Fireworks?
We look to expand and to do more shows here in Toronto. I'm looking to partner with my local city here of Scarborough to do some things here in Scarborough and, go beyond the sky.
Go beyond. I'm waiting to see that tagline, the trademark. I'm waiting to see that, by the way. As we start winding down the conversation here. Okay. Going through what you have, what would you have told your younger self with your experience now that you have in life? What would you tell your younger self?
It's okay. It's okay. Um, I spent many years, I would say as a teenager, I was one of those angry kids. Not because life was bad, just because I felt like I didn't have the right environment. So I really put my head to the books, and that was really my refuge. So the what I would say to my old self is, don't give up. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be okay.
Hmm. Your message, what is your call to action or message for Black entrepreneurs?
Exceed their expectations, so validation is not required. So even when I went out there and I did those counting and he called me the Count Blackula, by the end of the night he was looking at me and saying, "Wow, you're a really good worker and you're really this and you're really that and all that great stuff." So I had exceeded his expectation. So he came around in a different way. So I always go out there and do more than what is expected so that my validation is, now that I go back as a pilot, he won't even care because he's already now embraced me based off of my work. And if you put in the work, success is inevitable. So those are my two things that I live by.
That's like what George Fraser says. If you look like us and you're an entrepreneur, you're either exceptional or you're nothing.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And there's no in between.
Right. What is your message for Black women entrepreneurs?
Step out and lead. Don't be afraid to lead. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Just because there's not a step there, make the step. Like there might not be a stepping stone, but you can make that step.
100%.
Build the stone if you have to.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you want to share with our family today?
Well, I want to thank CBCC for, all their help, because I must say that when I started it, I came in with a single idea and it's evolved so much. And just with the questions that was asked of me, they never gave me any answers. They never gave me any solutions. So if you're going there looking for solutions or answers, it's not what you're going to get. It's about developing yourself and learning how to find the answers within yourself and to tap into the resources that are provided. And you will be asked questions. And if you ask the right questions, the answers and the resources will just come pouring in.
Okay. When's the next fireworks show?
Ooh, right now I've got something big planning for June 9th. I think is going to be the kickoff for the summer. And I'm really excited with what's going to happen.
Amazing. Shevonne, want to thank you.
Well, I want to thank you. And, as I say, everybody put God first and everything else will work out.
Absolutely. So before we leave, just some comments here. Opal Inspired says, "You go, Shevonne. Just had an idea. Let's make Scarborough the firework display capital of the world. The world is your oyster."
Yay! I love that.
All right. Frequency Event Promotions. Great show. Also wishes myself and you a great weekend. And she goes,
Thank you,
well done.
Yvette. Thank you so much.
Well done, Shevonne. You are bringing a lot of fun, creativity, and pizzazz to the industry. Love it. Fitness IQ Camp says, yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Well,
Thanks for listening. Thanks for participating. Thanks for the questions.
Thank you for you.
Thank you. We're here to show them that Black excellence exists on every level. And I am just a result of a program that I went through. So, you know, get out there and get involved. And, you know, if you look for it, you will find it. But you can't sit there and say you don't know. Like, the other part of this is I'm allergic to complainers and victims. We got to get in there and get the work done.
I'm allergic to complainers and victims. What?
Yeah, you get nowhere. So you can complain and you could be a victim and you'll stay stagnant. But the minute you start looking for solutions and the minute you start figuring out what the next step is and get away from that complaint, you're on your path to success. So for the people who are calling me and they want, you know, my advice and they're saying, you know, can you mentor or can you be involved? If you're calling me and you're looking for questions and you're looking for solutions, I'm here for you. But please, no victims, no complainers. We're here to put in work.
How much are you charging? I guess I need to hire you now.
Dr. Vibe, you know, we've got a special thing. We'll have a sideline talk about that.
All right. Well, I just heard a notification, so we're going to let you go. So as always, to you, your family, your team, don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourself grace.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. All right. That is Shevonne Chin, the First Lady of Fireworks and Drones in Canada. Done deal. No one else is doing it like she is. It's a done deal. So thank you so much. There's her contact information at the bottom of the screen, but I've already shared it on all the platforms. So before we close up for the day, as always, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you want to advertise on our platform, please email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com on this platform or any other platforms that I host. And then join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And also, coming up on Monday, Carolyn Nicole, certified holistic nutritionist of the Energy Shack Juice Bar, will be talking about busting the belly fat. And you can also catch us at indiesoupmedia.tv, replays there. You can also watch replays of the Morning Vibe at the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube and Facebook, Afro Caribbean Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, and Ryan Oneil Knight on LinkedIn and YouTube. That's it. We got it covered. So as always, we like to say this. Let me get it ready to go here. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. By the way, people seem to like this background. The other day I was on a call and the person said, Dr. Vibe, the Matrix. What do you think? You like it? I'm liking this one. I'm liking this one. What do you think? Put in your comments, but we'll see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. As always, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. God bless. Peace to well. Keep the faith and walk good.